Hostinger VPS offers some of the most affordable virtual private servers on the market. But is it cheap VPS hosting for a reason, or is it the best VPS hosting option for those looking to upgrade to better hosting without breaking the bank? I'm ready to take my sites to the next level with something more powerful. So, join me on this journey as I set up a virtual private server and conduct a quick Hostinger VPS review. Let's uncover the good, the bad, and the affordable? One thing to know about me is that when it comes to upgrading any service, my first question is always, how much more will this cost compared to the basic version? The answer to that question is precisely why I chose Hostinger for my first VPS hosting. While it's not the absolute cheapest option out there, Hostinger's plans start at just $5 a month. For comparison, both GoDaddy and DreamHost charge more while offering fewer overall resources. The entry-level plan includes one vCPU core, 4GB of RAM, 50GB of NVMe SSD storage, and 4TB of bandwidth. I personally opted for the first VPS option, but Hostinger offers plans with up to 8 vCPU cores, 32GB of RAM, 400GB of NVMe SSD storage, and a massive 32TB of bandwidth. Perfect if you need serious power for your project. Even so, their most robust VPS plan starts at just $20 per year. Plus, you can upgrade your plan at any time, so it's a good idea to start with the basics and scale up as needed. What else? Hostinger is one of the few VPS hosting providers that run on cutting-edge AMD EPYC processors and offer features like full root access, DDoS protection, automatic weekly backups, and 24/7 customer support. We'll dive deeper into that last one later, as having reliable support is crucial when dealing with the complexities of VPS hosting. But for now, let's circle back to pricing. Another thing that's important to me is a money-back guarantee. Hostinger provides a 30-day one, which means if I don't like these VPS plans, I can get all my money back. Here's a little secret. It's super easy to cancel your subscription. I've done it before, years ago, when I grabbed a VPS plan only to realize, whoops, that it was a bit too complex for the old me. I love discounts. Who doesn't? But what I can't stand are those surprise price hikes at renewal, or renewal increases as they're called in the industry. Hostinger is okay in this regard. My $5 a month plan will eventually go up to $8 a month, which is relatively mild. For comparison, the DreamHost plan I mentioned earlier costs $10 initially, but skyrockets to $25, while GoDaddy is a bit tamer, increasing from $9 to around $15. Next, I'm in it for the long haul, so prepaying upfront for 2 years makes perfect sense for me. However, if you're considering month-to-month hosting, be prepared for a noticeable price increase with Hostinger. So, if your budget allows, opting for a long-term plan is the way to go. And look at that, there's a Hostinger discount link conveniently placed in the description. Or for even easier access, just scan the code on the screen. The last thing I want to highlight is that Hostinger supports multiple payment gateways, including Google Pay, Apple Pay, and Alipay. It might seem like a small detail, but I've gotten so accustomed to using Google Pay that providers offering only credit card payments feel a bit old school. So, I've picked my VPS plan. Now, how difficult will it be to manage? That was my stumbling block the last time I tried VPS, but now I'm older and wiser. Hopefully. Let's set up our VPS. The first control panel you'll encounter is the H panel, and honestly, it's probably the easiest panel out there. Unlike C panel, which can overwhelm first-time users and feels frankly updated, H panel is beginner-friendly while still offering robust features for developers. This panel provides real-time insights into CPU, RAM, and bandwidth usage. And I love that you can customize these widgets on the homepage. It's perfect for ensuring your projects aren't overburdened and for monitoring your site's health. Whether you're using Hostinger's shared web hosting plans or VPS, the main control panel stays the same, and that's a huge plus in my book. However, VPS comes with another layer, server controls. So, how does Hostinger handle those? Switching between Linux distributions like Ubuntu, CentOS, or Debian is incredibly simple. With just one click, I installed Ubuntu to meet my specific project needs. As you can see, there are plenty of options, including Alma Linux, Debian, and Ubuntu. But, and this is very important, only some of these are free. Options like Alma Linux with cPanel require you to purchase a license. If you're new to VPS and want to try something free, my recommendation for easy VPS controls would be Ubuntu or Alma Linux, paired with CyberPanel. What I also really like is that automatic weekly backups are included. If something goes wrong, you can easily restore previous versions, a lifesaver during server setup. I tested this feature extensively and it worked perfectly every time. Now, if your project is mission critical and you need extra protection, there's an option to upgrade to daily backups for even greater peace of mind. For more advanced users, Hostinger VPS offers full root access, enabling the installation of custom software and the ability to tweak server settings. For managing security, I took advantage of their tools to set up SSH keys and configure a custom firewall. Essentially, Hostinger provides all the features a developer might need, but in a beginner-friendly package. Now that I have a WordPress website, it's time to focus on the main reason I'm upgrading: performance improvements. With private hosting, no more sharing resources. So, how does it stack up against basic hosting? First, Hostinger's VPS uses cutting-edge AMD EPYC CPUs, known for their high performance and energy efficiency. Additionally, every VPS plan features NVMe SSD storage, which is significantly faster than traditional SATA SSDs. For context, NVMe achieves average read-write speeds of around 3,000 megabytes per second, making it up to 10 times faster than older SATA technology. Overall, Hostinger appears to invest heavily in its ecosystem, regularly upgrading its tech to stay ahead of the curve. Let's start by testing a default WordPress website. I'm using the Google PageSpeed Insight tool, which is free so you can test your own sites. Our goal is to achieve all greens and load times faster than the recommended 2.5 seconds. My first Hostinger VPS fully loaded an empty WordPress site in under a second, which is impressive. I'm not sure if I've done all the necessary optimization on my end, so there's definitely room for improvement. For comparison, my shared plan loads an empty WordPress site in around 1.5 seconds, which is an improvement, but the real fun begins with larger projects. Take my blog, for example. It currently loads in around 2.3 to 2.5 seconds. While that might not sound super fast, it's a huge improvement from when I was with a provider that could only manage snail speed loading times, somewhere around 7 to 8 seconds. It was a really noticeable lag. Just switching to Hostinger made a significant difference. But how much better will it get if I move the blog to my new VPS? Well, now it's loading in under 2 seconds, mostly around the 1.5 second mark. Considering this is the cheapest VPS plan with just basic optimization on my end, I'd say that's a really solid outcome. Now, there's one thing you have to know. I actually got this VPS for a few months just to test the uptime. Essentially, I wanted to see what percentage of time my website was actually reachable online and how many incidents occurred over a certain period. Hostinger promises 99.9% uptime across all its hosting plans, and I've chosen to track its monthly results. Not a single outage was recorded, ensuring uninterrupted access for all users, which is great. The overall stability of the server was strong, as the average loading time didn't show any significant spikes. However, keep in mind that I'm not running super small projects, so I don't get a crazy influx of visitors. To test for larger scale performance, I ran a stress test by sending 50 virtual concurrent users to access my WordPress site. First, the default WordPress setup, then my blog. Remember, 50 users at the same time is quite an achievement, so we're really testing for medium and bigger projects. The server handled both loads smoothly without noticeable lag or HTTPS errors, though my blog did have some slightly bigger spikes. For typical small to medium-sized applications, this level of performance is more than sufficient, and the price is well justified. But if you're completely new, one aspect that really needs to be addressed by the provider is security. Security is such a complex and ever-evolving topic that you either spend years gaining the knowledge or you're basically out of the loop. So, even though these VPS are unmanaged and give you complete freedom to mess things up, the overall security package is still very solid. One key feature is built-in DDoS protection, which automatically detects and mitigates distributed denial of service attacks aimed at overwhelming your server with traffic. This ensures that your website or application remains online and functional, even during targeted disruptions. A point to note is that Hostinger does not include SSL certificates, but don't worry. You can install a free Let's Encrypt certificate through most control panels here. Just keep in mind that these Let's Encrypt certificates are suitable for small to medium projects, but more business-oriented sites may want to opt for something more robust. Next, Hostinger also performs regular malware scans on its servers. These scans proactively search for vulnerabilities, malicious files, or other security risks. If any threats are detected, you'll be promptly notified, allowing you to take appropriate action to safeguard your data. You can also activate auto removal of detected threats, though I wouldn't recommend doing this, as the system might mistakenly delete an important file it falsely suspects to be malware. Additionally, the platform supports IP whitelisting and firewalls, giving you control over access to your server and blocking unauthorized users. Overall, it provides great security for your site, especially considering the affordable price. Alright, so this is a make or break section for a lot of beginner VPS users. Will Hostinger help you if something goes wrong? The short answer is yes. While not perfect, the support here is decent and offers a lot of different approaches. The long answer is that Hostinger actually implements a few features I initially thought were gimmicks, but now they've become my go-to. First, there's the AI support called Cody. Yes, AI. For some, it might be annoying, but I found it surprisingly useful for answering basic questions about my hosting subscription, guiding me to specific dashboard locations, or quickly providing information. If I want to know what specific OS my server is running, I can just ask the AI, and boom, I get an answer. Need instructions for changing specific settings in my OS? Here you go. I ended up using it often during the setup process, and it works surprisingly better than just Googling things. If you enjoy learning, there's a wealth of text and video tutorials available without leaving Hostinger at all. However, for those who prefer human-to-human chat, support can take a little while to get to, but I found it to be very helpful. One thing that surprised me is that support agents actually reach back to check if everything is all right with the issue, which is a nice touch. With many providers, you often feel like a burden to the team, and they just want to get rid of you as quickly as possible. What I really appreciate is that Hostinger support doesn't commit major sins, like sending links to articles and leaving you to read up and solve the issue yourself, or constantly asking the same questions and rerouting you through 10 different people. I'm not saying it's perfect, the response times do vary quite a bit, and not every agent is on the same technical level, but for the price I'm paying, I was really satisfied with Hostinger's overall support network. Before we wrap up, if this Hostinger VPS review helped you decide which VPS to choose, why not show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel? I think that's all I wanted to cover in this Hostinger review. I'm really happy with the virtual private server I've got. It was affordable, easy to set up, had strong security, improved my performance, and provided a great support network. For all these reasons, I can wholeheartedly recommend trying Hostinger VPS. And hey, if you don't like it, there's always that 30-day money-back guarantee, so you're not risking anything. Plus, the discount links below offer even better pricing, so don't forget to check them out. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have questions or suggestions for other affordable VPS tools I could try, leave a comment in the comments section. You can also find full Hostinger shared hosting reviews and tutorials by subscribing to Cybernews. Okay, enough for today. I'll see you next time. Peace.